considered to be the home stretch of a student's academic career. It's an exciting time as students prepare to launch into their next phase of life, whether it's post-secondary education, the military, or meaningful employment. That means college visits, applications, deadlines, resume writing, and other necessities that can be overwhelming for some students and their families. Today, I'm here with Maureen Martin and Courtney Merridew from Chesterfield County Public Schools, and we are kicking off a year-long series geared towards helping students navigate the college application process. Thanks and welcome.
Thank you.
So, senior year, they are in their mind completely finished, and they are 17, and they know exactly what the next steps need to be, and try to do it alone sometimes, some of them. But that is a little difficult, and for the parent, the last time they've probably dealt with this was when they were 17 themselves, and so it can be a stressful time for both family and child or student. Could you speak, Courtney, just a little bit about that transition and about the resources that as a school division we have to kind of help make that easier?
Yes, it's a big transition because senior year you're still focused on being a high school student, getting your classes done, but you're also looking at the college application process or career or military, whatever route you're going to go. But the college application process has a lot of steps and a lot of moving parts to it, and so preparing for that and engaging in that takes a lot of time and a lot of focus. And so that's where having that parent support is strong, it's needed. And so you're transitioning to having a student accept more responsibility and play a bigger role, but also still needing that backup there. And Chesterfield County, as a school counselor myself, we try to provide as much resources to the students and parents as possible. And so if there's ever any questions, you're always welcome to give us a call, or also talk to your student, because we go into their classrooms and talk to them directly about the next steps in the process.
So then, Maureen, as we are, like, let's say my child is going to be a senior this next year, the summer beforehand, trying to get a jump start on things, what are some things that I as a parent need to know that we should be taking care of this summer, or that they should be taking care of maybe with our nudging this summer?
I think there's a range of things that can happen over the summer. Certainly college visits. It's a great time to go spend some time on campuses, attend the information sessions, speak with the financial aid office, take the tours, ask the questions, get actually on campus to give your student a chance to take a look and see what's available in the area. Additionally, looking a little more long term, if they're still kind of not sure what career direction they'd like to go in, there are some online resources. The Virginia Education Wizard is available online and accessible to look at not only college choices that match up with career pathways, but there are sections on it for financial aid and plenty of information that both parent and student can look at together. Additionally, the student resume can be worked on over the summer. As Courtney said, it's a chance to start putting down on paper some of the specific activities and involvement that the student has had over the 4 years. That becomes the development then for some of the college application pieces moving forward.
Anything else that you can think of, Courtney? Or
over the summer, it would be great to go ahead and get a feel of what the deadlines are going to be for whatever it is you are going to be working on. Specifically, college applications, there are going to be multiple deadlines for each school, whether it's early action, early decision, or regular decision, also deadlines for being considered for scholarships. All of that, it's good to go ahead and know what your deadlines are ahead of time so that you can pace yourself throughout the year.
Awesome. And so, I think that all of this information, I know just from working in a school, all of this information goes to the students, that they have access to it, but sometimes there is a disconnect between school and home, and that disconnect is usually the 17-year-old. So is there a general place where this information is housed on a website or in the counseling office that, if I just want to know enough to be able to nudge or to have an understanding of what needs to be done, that I can find it?
Yes, actually most high schools will post the information that they give out to students on their individual high school websites. So it's a great place to start looking. Also, if you know the schools that your student is applying to, I would advise looking at the individual schools' websites as well, the colleges. And then also, if you're unsure as to where to find something, or you've asked your student and they're unsure, you can always give the counseling office a call, and we'd be happy to point you in the right direction.
Additionally, we produce some booklets and things like that are it's kind of a 4-year plan for parents and students on the college search process, and we try to have a pretty active webpage in the Career Center and in the counseling office that has appropriate dates and accessibility to other resources that we have in the county and school based in the school.
So, and thanks, that's good information to have just at the ready. So, you know, you have an interesting advantage because you've done this, you do this every year in your job, but then also you've done it as a parent. And I think about in a similar way, you know, the best advice I ever got was make sure that, you know, your student should ask their favorite teacher to write their letter of recommendation early instead of waiting until the last minute. Can you throw out some advice that, you know, from a parent's perspective, you know, what I can do to keep us all sane and get people where they need to be?
Yeah, I think, you know, you have to keep an open mind because each student is different. You know, I've had multiple students graduate through the Chesterfield County system, and they were different kinds of students and different kinds of people. So each time we had another one approaching graduation, we had to shift gears a little bit. Some required a little more assistance than others. You know, one had a binder system for deadlines. You know, she was right on target with all of that. Another had piles of application material on the floor. That was his way of organizing himself. But what I found was that we needed to make sure that they had some ownership of what was happening. So they attended the college night program, they attended the financial aid workshop with me. We talked about lining up college choices, and once the acceptances started coming in, then we had to talk about how to make those decisions, and based on what our budget looked like for each student and for multiple students in a couple of ways. Finally, just on a personal note, we always had our children working. They were expected to contribute to the cost of attendance because, as we all know, it's a very expensive proposition and investment, and we felt like they needed to be part of the plan.
Oh, and I couldn't agree more. I think that the more they take ownership in this process, then the more successfully they transition out of college into adulthood as well. So, you know, thank you so much for coming and speaking with us today, and for all of the work you do to serve our students and their families. And I'm looking forward to this series. And thank you for joining us on Engage Chesterfield.